Welcome, Transformer fans! My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today's review is on the Transformers Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager class Nest Bonecrusher. And here he is in his vehicle mode, which is this vehicle mode is called the Buffalo. It is a military vehicle that is armored and designed for the removals of buried mines. In fact, this entire arm deal is designed, as you can see, it's a scooper, to dig into the ground where there's a potential mine and gently lift it up and also be protected from it. That's why it's like so long. In case it goes off, it doesn't damage the vehicle all that much. And the vehicle is also was able to withstand mine blasts. So yeah, a little bit of fun fact if you didn't know. So yeah, this is just straight up called the Buffalo. That's what it is. I thought it was like a nickname or something, but nope, that's what it's called. And weirdly fitting, and I feel almost like it was intentional, but Bonecrusher was also a Beast Wars figure that was an actual buffalo or a bison, but yeah. I was always curious if that was on purpose or not, or at least if this was on purpose. So yeah, so here we have a weird repaint, and this is just a straight repaint of the earlier Studio Series Voyager Bonecrusher. This is just his Nest version, and yeah, Bonecrusher and Nest. So apparently, this version of Bonecrusher has decided to go into sort of reconnaissance mode, and is trying to collect information from the Autobots and from Nest. But funny thing, if you notice on the side here, there's a teeny tiny, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a teeny tiny, right there, Decepticon logo right next to what is essentially a jumble of numbers and letters that spell out "All Hail Megatron" on both sides. Right next to the actual Nest logo, but yeah, that is friggin' adorable. That's just awesome that he has that on there. It's kind of like how the movie version of Barricade has, to punish and enslave instead of to protect and serve on the side of its vehicle mode. So that's actually kind of cool. Kind of dumb, but also kind of cool. But so yeah, this is Incognito Bonecrusher. Or as how I would like to think of it is a alternate ending to Bonecrusher, where instead of being destroyed by Optimus in the first movie, he kept going. Because as far as I know, he does show up on the ride, but besides the ride, I don't think Bonecrusher actually shows up in the Revenge of the Fallen, where Nest is sort of the big thing, is fairly involved there. But so yeah. This I think is just an alternate version of Bonecrusher where he doesn't get wiped out by Optimus and instead is able to go into hiding and sort of tries to get some reconnaissance off of Nest. So that's that rambling. So what can he do in his vehicle mode? And quite a bit, actually. So yeah, the arm is actually very articulated. This Mind Fork, I think it's called. It has a hinge here, hinge there, hinge here, rotates there as well, hinge here, and that's it. This does split apart, but that's more for robot mode, even though you can maybe work with that. But this does split apart, but that's for robot mode. That's one of his main weapons. So yeah, Bonecrusher. He has 6 rolly wheels. They roll quite well, and maybe not on the surface, but he can roll. And that's about it. It's more than the usual fare, but yeah, pretty neat. So now let's get on with transformation, which is not as complicated as I thought. For whatever reason, I was under the impression that this Voyager would be a little bit finicky to transform, but no, it's actually not that bad. So first things first. Well, just the fork is going to be off screen a little bit because it's really long. So it's just going to be out there. Over here, and you separate this here. There we go, and there we go. That's step 1. Then you lift, believe this up. Yeah, lift front up and move it forward, like so. Then lift this entire assembly up. And then you bring out the legs like so. All right, let's just finish off the legs. It's pretty straightforward. Just rotate this and then swing this entire assembly around. Then this will line up into here. So just make sure everything's lined up and all. There we go. Second verse, same as the first. Rotate and then bring this assembly back. Then everything will sort of move into place. Oh, and then this leg, this little peg just, not peg, this piece here just move, push it back. Let's see, bring that down. And then lift this up some more to reveal his face. Then you come in here. You bring out these flaps. Like so. Now for here, you separate. Separate. And then this you lift up. This entire middle piece you lift up. And you line it up. It should be like this. This is how it should be right here. And then this you just fold, like bring up. There we go, and it'll click into place. Now he's almost done. Let's get the arms ready. So, let's see. Flip out the hands like so. And then come here and take this down. Same thing here. And then fold them in like so. Like this. So, do it again. There we go. Like so. And then here you just sort of take them out, just swing them out, rotate, bring that out, rotate, and then just open this hand. There we go. Then this arm, same thing, just bring out, rotate, and boom, hands are ready to go. And then for the claw, well, we're going to turn it into a claw. What I like to do is swing it down like this, then separate this and bring it like so, and then fold these in and fold. Oh, hold on, rotate and fold it up like this, and there we have it. That's how I like to display the claw. And then let's see, and there we have Bonecrusher. Let's lift it up a bit. Yeah, there we have Bonecrusher in his robot mode, and it looks really cool. And yeah, it's not as complicated as I was expecting. I thought they would be much more involved. Like, it's a lot more straightforward than I thought. So yeah, let's get a closer look at that head sculpt. And yes, he does have painted eyes, which is really cool. I think he has, I can only see 2 eyes, but yeah, he does have 2 red eyes painted. And the articulation on the head is very weird, which I might as well just segue into the actual articulation. A head can go left, right, and can swivel, but like this. It can move side to side like so, and that's about it. The arms can have their hinge here. They swivel, they move this way, that way. Hinge there, little bit of up and down here, so there's hinge. Here is also hinge. Technically another hinge there, but that's more for transformation. And the hand can open and close. Well, his claws can open and close. And then they have this other feature. You can actually separate it here, like so. And I'm not sure why it does that, because I don't think it's supposed to be like this. But yeah, so this is an option, and the instructions don't really, if I remember correctly, the instructions don't really mention this, but he can do this. And I think I know what this is supposed to be referencing. Because the thing is, here's where you have the full motion, because the other way it's kind of limited. You have these like massive pieces just hanging out. At least this way he has his bulkier hands. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Let's see, no waist. Oh, arms can, there's a hinge there to move them forward so you can give, big old hugs, which is nice. The claw has the same articulation as before, same hinges, except now it has an extra hinge here. here, and then this rotates. So that's something. The legs can go out that far, forward, back, swivel there, bend, and I believe that's it. No, actually, and an ankle. Yeah, believe it or not, this guy does have an ankle pivot, just all the way up here, which is awkward, but he does have it. And yeah, so back to this feature, because he doesn't come with any weapons, and his only other accessory is his backdrop, because, you know, he is a Studio Series figure. He does come with a backdrop. So this feature with the hands, I think this is supposed to be a reference. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Do not use me as a reference for this, but my thought is that, my thinking is that this is a reference to the original deluxe figure from the first movie, which had these extending hands. Like I have an original Bonecrusher, and his arms could like extend out. They were folded in, they would extend out, and I think that's what this is referencing. I might be wrong, but it's the only thing that I feel makes sense as to why this is here, because if I remember, the instructions don't mention it. I mean, I barely looked at them, to be honest, but it's like I don't remember them mentioning this. And yeah, just he can do that. So yeah, that's a Bonecrusher. Pretty cool. Now let's do some size comparisons. Since he may not be that tall, but he is fairly wide. So here we have Cliff Jumper. I mean, not Cliff Jumper, my bad. I'm doing this in a different order now. So we have Ratchet, Cliff Jumper, and introducing for size comparisons, this Optimus Primal. So now we have a pretty decent range, and now an improved range of sizes. So there we go. So yeah, he's a fairly decently sized Voyager, just not tall but fairly wide. All right, so yeah, the final accessory I gotta mention is his backdrop, which apparently is just a Buzzworthy Bumblebee sort of rebranding of the Mission City highway scene where Optimus fights Bonecrusher in the first movie. And this is carried over from the Studio Series Bonecrusher, his previous iteration. And yeah, there you go. Pretty cool. So yeah, overall, pretty cool figure. Can't really complain. I think his transformation is neat. Is fairly straightforward. The robot mode is really cool, and I particularly also like his vehicle mode. It's fairly unique. Like, I basically learned about the Buffalo, or mine vehicle, through this guy, because I've never seen that vehicle before. And yeah, so yeah, overall, pretty cool figure. This specific version, I guess, if you missed out on the first Bonecrusher, this Target exclusive Buzzworthy Bumblebee variant might be there. I mean, that's pretty much why I got it. I kind of missed out on the first iteration. I decided to skip it because I had an original Bonecrusher and I didn't feel the need to get the Studio Series version. But then I got this guy who's different enough, who's a little bit more different, or at least from my point of view, he's different enough where I can justify getting him. So I have this alternate reality Bonecrusher who decided to be incognito and try and be a spy. Okay, whatever you say. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty solid figure. I recommend it, either this one or even the original Studio Series one. Again, but only get this one if either you're a huge Bonecrusher fan or if you missed out on the first iteration, the Studio Series one. So yeah, pretty solid figure, pretty cool. He is a Target exclusive. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but all Buzzworthy Bumblebees, as far as I'm aware, as far as it's concerned now, as of this video, Buzzworthy Bumblebee is a Target exclusive subline of Transformers, and he is one of them. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee. Should I put the full title? Yeah, I'll just put the full title. The Transformers Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee. No, Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager class Nest Bonecrusher. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out and be safe.